it kind of helped them advance. I mean, do you think this was a conspiracy?
Gotta go with Jacob Butter. Gotta go
No,
lefty.
we're talking about the players. That's tournament champions into the podcast.
There he is, right there.
Oh, he doesn't even know how to watch. Go to youtube.com and search Down Lane Podcast.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Down Lane Podcast. We are streaming live from the lab at Town and Country Lanes. I'm your host, Kyle Haines, and with me is the assistant to the host, Anthony Scaccia.
Oh, not on your life. You are aggressive right out of the gate, and I like it. I like the aggressiveness.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Andrew. Welcome, Michael Polke. Not in your life. Welcome to the show.
Like that.
Chloe,
He's
welcome.
New, right? He's new.
And the producer. What's up tonight? How's it going?
I've seen Austin all day today.
We got a lot to get to tonight. The hot topic of the week.
There's a hot topic.
Absolutely, which is the USBC's big announcement about the string pin setters. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We are also going to be getting to Anthony's trip to East Providence, Rhode Island.
We want to talk about that? Sure.
Listen. We got to talk about successes. We got to talk about maybe, I don't want to call it a failure, but
No, I don't think it was a failure. Other people will call
learning
it failure.
Learning experiences,
The
we'll call it.
I don't believe it's a failure.
That's what I just said. I said it's a learning experience.
Touchdown, Jesus, Kyle.
And then we've got a listener/viewer question to get to.
I can't wait. I read it today, and I can't read that well, but I read it. Am I too close to the mic?
In between
Settle
making bench seats today.
That's right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had a chance to check the email.
Is this too close, Austin, or do I sound
No,
great?
you're good.
Such a jerk. Before we get to all that, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. You can always email us, just like our follower did, at downlanepod@gmail.com. You can always reach out to us on our social pages, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
The tweet box.
And if you can't watch us on the YouTube or Facebook, you can download and listen via your favorite podcast service, like Apple, iTunes, or Spotify, or whatever you choose.
You're good, Kyle.
Yeah. Download, listen, give us a 5-star review,
Yeah, give us 5
all
star.
that good stuff. Oh, and the Etsy shop. Oh, there's new shirts coming in.
I need to get to those. I was thinking about a few designs, actually. I got a few cool ideas. But, it's got to be... The problem with me is that, we have jokes as, like, a unit. And I have a great idea, and I worked on it. I kid you not, I worked on it, like 3, 4, 5, 7 months ago. And I just couldn't get it right. But I just don't know if people, like... Do people call grabbing the ball the claw? Like... Do they say I clawhead or like?
I don't think so. I think that's an inside joke.
It's not really like an
I'm sure
inside,
some people refer to
Yeah,
it that
maybe.
way.
It's not an inside joke, but it's like our lingo is different than some other people. So
Sure.
creating a shirt for the masses where thousands of people are going to order these.
Well,
I
look
gotta
at
be honest though.
but look at Shimwrecker. Shim.
Who says Shimwrecker?
Are you serious right now?
Brad and
I
Kyle
don't say
in the
Shim,
house
do I?
bowling definitely.
No,
started
but
that.
Shim came out of nowhere. We could become the claw people.
The
Yeah, but
claw
Shim is
people.
Well,
just-
not claw. The claw
Who
Who
people.
says Shim?
Everyone used to say Shim, and then
It was a trend for like
Yeah.
a year and a half, 2 years.
yeah. Come on, don't act like you don't know.
No, I've heard people say Shim, but like, wow, my mouth looks really weird on that. Wow.
All right, stop looking at the screen. People are listening.
I'm just saying, I don't know. It's just I don't say Shim. I don't know. Shim to me doesn't make any sense.
I
Push?
agree.
It's what I would call
Hold?
Yeah, I'm
It's
down.
what
with
I
it.
would call hold.
I'm with you. I 100% agree.
Bless you. The other thing, Kyle,
Yeah, go ahead.
let everyone know that we are now a vlog channel as well.
Yes. Austin had a big week this week. Big announcement.
Big week.
Big announcement.
Epiphany of the week.
No. Austin had his big project come out this week, which really just had an idea to vlog our Thursday night league. It came out really good.
I will say I like the title you chose. We did not collaborate on
No, we
that,
did not. I
and,
just wung
I
it.
kind of just it was like 4:00 in the morning, and I just sent everything over to you in the drive, and I was impressed with the title. It's a very
was the
good
title?
Did you not
Anthony
watch?
didn't watch the video.
No, I watched the video. I didn't read the title though. I clicked the link you guys posted, and then that was it.
So go to our YouTube channel. Click Tonight We Bowl.
Oh, that's right. I was gonna message you guys. Deviate. Hello.
I don't get it.
Deviate's logo is Tonight We Bowl.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Nah, forget them. Oh yeah, I think I saw that before. I don't know. That's
There it is. See, Tonight We Bowl.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, anyway,
Thanks,
so that's
Mike.
our
Thanks for the encouraging word. Took me a ton of time to get that done, brother.
Yes, thank Michael. Thank you to Austin. Austin did a great job.
Cheers, Austin.
But yeah, so we're going to continue that every week throughout the season. So sorry to Austin for having to go through the editing process, which I'm very familiar with and hate it. It was your idea.
I will say I'm slacking on all things extracurricular Downlane podcast. Saying this for the 7th week in a row.
Yeah. But yeah, editing is a lot of work. So, but it comes out very good. So give us your ideas about, like Austin said in the video, give us your ideas about what to improve on or what to do differently or how to add, I should say, to the vlog every week, what you guys might want to see. Maybe we could do a competition in one video between us, even though we're already bowling in our league. Maybe, I don't know, throw something into the vlog each week. So we'll try to do that. But it came out really good. I was very impressed, very proud of Austin.
Proud of you, Austin. Now, if only I could do something for this channel.
Yeah, we know. Other than provide this, whatever this is.
I am.
You're the knowledge.
I am the colored commentator.
I'm not going to expand on that.
Is that what it is? Color commentator?
Yep. Anyway, so how were you guys' week this week?
Oh, I'm throwing it good.
Really?
Yeah.
Go on.
Shot 912. It's a lot for me.
On Monday?
Yep. Tuesday, I have no idea. I think I shot like 660.
Yeah, I heard you got smoked on Tuesday.
I get smoked every Tuesday. It doesn't matter. We shot 509 and lost.
Wow.
For doubles, just so everybody's reference. So it's just not our half. We're going to be a second half team like I am on Monday nights. I'm in last place on Mondays, last place on Tuesdays.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Struggle bus.
It's okay. I'm throwing it good. I was throwing it. I'm like, man, I'm throwing it so good right now. I wish there was a regional.
I mean, can't be as bad as my Monday night.
What'd you do Monday?
Oh, just watch everyone around you, throw 250s without a problem, and throw a nice 140 in there on a house shot.
That's all right. I didn't shoot over 175 a few weeks ago.
Well, I followed it with a 160.
Improvement. 20 pins is 20
I had
pins.
240 the last game. Figured it out.
I feel like I'm the only guy in here that feels like his game's coming around again.
No,
my game's fine.
I'm throwing it great.
I just bowled like you do.
Like, I'm throwing it freaking sick. Like, if you take sick and put it backwards, that's exactly what it is.
It'd be like kiss.
Boom.
Huh.
Kisses.
So yeah, we practiced last night. Well, you didn't, and you didn't.
No,
I did.
I was getting
You're
ready for the new
balls,
furniture.
man.
I was drilling balls, plugging balls. I also took out tables because we got new furniture in the center today. It's not all finished yet, but it looks good.
It does look really good. Hey, where are the tables?
Everybody keeps asking me, where are the tables?
It'd be nice to throw some tables to put my drinks on.
Well, it's okay. We didn't finish them all. We did them for like 5-6 hours. I think we started at 12. They might have started a little bit before me, but yeah. So it looks good. I did a bunch of stuff. I wasn't able to practice. I had even brought my blue hammer, my purple reactive, to do that review because I had the tripod and I didn't get a chance because Kyle and Austin have seen it. I'm plugging so many bowling balls for people right now. I have sold a boatload. I've.
What do these sound like to you, Austin?
Just a busy guy.
What do these sound like to you? These words?
Sound like my dad?
Excuses.
No, I'm just busy. And, it's just busy. You know what I mean? And it's tough because I want to bowl. But, I've been here all day. I got some other stuff I got to do. So it's like, do I bowl? Because then I'm not going to do my work. And then
work is secondary. podcast is number one.
Okay. Thanks, Dad.
We'll quote that one day.
So yeah, we practiced last night. We bowled on last year's doubles and singles pattern,
You
which
practiced
is
last night.
right. A few of us, other than the people in this room, me and Nick and
Tom Anderson,
um,
Mark Rattel,
yeah,
Nick Harris.
that is even so. The lane surface here is like we've said this a million times on this show. The lane surface here is a lot different than Reno. Very similar, not the same surface, but at least plays similar to, like, let's say South Point. Different surfaces, but they play similar.
We do play similar to South Point.
Yep.
I would agree.
Yep. But last year was Reno, so played very different. Like, I could actually play the pattern. Actually, what I'll say is when we bowled in the Bowler's Journal, I could actually score in that tournament. Whereas
they look closer to Bowler's Journal.
Right. Whereas when we bowled in doubles and singles at the OCs on this pattern last year, holy crap, it was one of the hardest things I've ever bowled on in my life. It was incredibly difficult.
I actually enjoyed the pattern. Everybody said urethane was out of play. I whacked him for 620, but I actually bowled really good. And then the second shift
on the left side.
Yeah, then I bowled really good the second shift and shot like 645 or something like that. And I was plus like 60 going the last game and said, all right, good out 200, 170.
Yeah.
But I was still plus. I made a decent amount of cash.
It was so hard, but it was nice to see that the pattern was definitely more playable on a fresher lane surface.
How are you throwing it?
Way better.
Kyle's grip is
though, yes, the grip change is much better now. But when I was bowling out there last year or this year, but 6 months ago,
past bowling season,
I felt much more comfortable. Like, I was not throwing it great because I watched the video of us bowling, and I still was having, grab one, miss one right, throw a good one, grab one, miss one right, grab one, miss one right, throw a good one. Like, I could watch it happen. Whereas now it's not like that. It's way cleaner, way more often, and very few grabs that are really grabby.
Well, yeah, you're forward in your thumb now, so you were throwing pretty good. I would say.
Clean. Yeah. So it's way better, way cleaner now. So, and my roll, I think, is a lot different than it was, or at least I shouldn't say a lot different, but
we remeasured your tilt's back to 0.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
It was lower, but you're back to 0, and your axis point, I think, has moved in a little bit. Andrew K, no, the epiphanies are over because I made him go back to a straight up and down grip. So there's no more of him trying to figure things out. It should be pretty okay.
We'll see. Well, there's still time. There's still time.
I don't know if you saw Kyle's golf swing. He's got some practicing to do.
You're going to be practicing golf now?
Yeah.
It's a vlog joke.
Yeah, he didn't actually watch the vlog, So.
I did watch the vlog. I watched just bowling.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the end part.
Anyway, so tell us how the regional went.
Terrible.
What happened?
Okay.
Tell us about what happened.
Well, first
off.
What
were you bowling on? Where were you?
First off, we were at East Providence Lanes, East Providence, Rhode Island. Brunswick Pro Lane, 22-year-old surface. For me, the lanes don't really break down in the front there for me. Typically, my ball skids pretty good. All I heard the righties complain about was the front's hooking, which
so
I would
sounds like
taken that.
You were in Reno.
Yeah, it wasn't hooking really for us in the fronts though. Reno, I did have a lot of early hook, but anyways, we bowled an early Anthony, 43 feet, 31 mils, tournament club pattern from a few weeks ago. Ended up playing pretty straight up here. Went out there. My ball went in the gutter a lot in practice because I was trying to play outside, just trying to see if there's anything there. Didn't happen. So I jumped in, was able to wear in a spot on the lane by myself because I don't move lanes typically if I've been to a center because I kind of know the breakdown. Like the low end for me hooks more down there. The high end tightens up a lot. I usually bowl better on the high end because I like when my ball gets down the lane a little bit better. So got to start on the high end, was kind of excited. So the out of bounds was like 10 out for me. I couldn't get back. It was like a washout, and if I got it too much in, if it wasn't perfect, it was through the face. So it prompted me to move to the right, and yeah, I mean, it was an inside shot there this year. I was the third high lefty this year. I was probably the third high lefty again this year, but out of 5 lefties. There was literally like 5 or 6 of us.
Really? Well, it was a low entry squad or
It
low
was 60
entry
people,
tournament, yeah.
but you would assume more lefties would be there. I know I didn't come in last for the lefties, but I was not high up. No lefty went plus. So while I was bowling, I started off like 170 every game. I think I had 160 in there somewhere. The first 3 games or 4 games, I shot like 170, 170, 160, 180, something like that. Then I think I moved in. You got 3 games to go. And I moved into like, I don't know, my leg was against the ball return on the left lane. Yep. So I ended up playing 6th arrow.
I seriously hope it's not on the right lane because that would be wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be. So I was on the left lane up against the ball return playing the 6th arrow. It's really weird to aim on the right side of the lane and have it go to the left. My brain just didn't comprehend that. I don't know how I did it, but I ended up shooting like 180, 190, 2-0 the last 3 games. Game 6 being 2 opens in the 9th and 10th for like 187. So that's an easy 210 game with 2 spares there, right? And then the 9th, or the next game after that, the 7th game, whatever it is, it was the 6th, the 7th, I shot 198 or 99 with an open in the 10th. And the last game I shot 210 with a open in the 10th, maybe something like that. So I probably could have went about plus 30 the last 3. And that, if I could have kept that pace up all day, I actually would have had a decent chance. Unfortunately, I started off kind of low, minus 90 after 3. I ended up 130 under. So I kind of stopped the bleeding.
Yeah.
But it just was, I wasn't going plus.
What was the overall cut?
I think it was 50.
Which is pretty low.
Yeah, it was like 208 or 205 or something like that. So honestly, I would have had a chance if I bumped in more right early. I knew it was an inside pattern when I bowled the day before. I knew I was going to have to go right, but I ended up...
Just didn't think so fast.
Well, it wasn't even... Well, yeah, honestly, I could have probably just played 6th arrow all day because there was no breakdown. Like, I just went from pair to pair and I didn't have to move. It was just all topography. There was no burn in the front. There was no carry down the back. There really wasn't any transition. So that's no excuse. So while I was out there, I kind of learned how to play the middle lane actually pretty well. And I've been using some of those tips and tricks that I learned out there in my $300 practice session to bowl better here. So I did at least learn something about it.
Correction. Like $500 practice session.
$500 practice
hotel room.
So yes,
fuel.
You're correct. But it was also supposed to be the week I got my pig.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be a double that weekend.
Double trip.
And it just didn't happen because we had the pig week before. So I was by myself. I had a great dinner. You text me, how do you feel? I said, I actually feel pretty good because I ended up going I have 15 balls that are in my tournament arsenal. I think we've chatted about. So I went through my 10-pin toolkit, made a bag of stuff I was going to bring. And then what I did was I eliminated it out of the bag. So I made my own separate bag, Earl Anthony bag. And I was able to kind of go through that. Not like it really made it like that was like, like I didn't know what I was going to bring, but I could just kind of put them in there. That way I can keep track from now on until that goes away. I don't know if there's unlimited bags you can make, but you can literally make an event bag. And so I was able to make an event bag, the 9 balls I used. And I actually had a pretty good progression. I think I told you that was probably the first time that I had a really good progression on the lane in terms of ball reaction. And I said ball reaction won't be a problem because I have hook. And so everyone say, well, Anthony, you didn't have hook. You bowled bad. Yeah, no, I had hook, but it was just playing the 6th arrow, moving to super far right, the outside being out of play. It's going to be a typical lefty thing. I just got to be better at moving right, and I think I learned a little bit on how to be a little better. So we'll see what happens next time I get into that type of a situation. Balls that I were using that worked pretty well were my speed was okay. It wasn't great. I give my kinetic cobalt probably like a B+. That ball was really good from the inner part of the lane at 2000. And then I give like a Troublemaker. Troublemaker was pretty good along with the Ethos and GB4 hybrid. Those are kind of the kinetic, the GB4 and the Ethos were kind of the balls, and the Troublemaker are the 4 balls that kind of stuck around all day out of the 9 that I had chosen.
Is there something equipment wise that you wish you would have had or could have had differently that would have played better that deep in the middle of the lane?
No.
You had everything you think you would have needed.
The only thing that I would have
Well,
done is,
I mean,
like ball wise, like
yeah.
I had the ball. I just think I possibly could use a little bit more surface, because what happened was the ball.
To get the ball into the roll.
Yeah, so like they were just a little too clean sometimes.
Right.
And then the kinetic at 2000 was actually, it picked up, it revved up in the mid lane, so I could try to throw it left, and the ball would rev up and not go as far left. With the shiny balls, they were a little more responsive to missing right, and when I missed left, they responded too late.
Right.
So I didn't have that blend to where it kind of slowed down a little bit to have that window to strike a little bit more. And I knew my ball reaction. I had ball reaction, but the ball reaction I needed, I don't know if I could have hit it might not have made a difference. I mean, that is not anything that I typically do. So it is what it is. What are you gonna do? You just move on.
Some days are yours and some days are theirs.
Yeah, I mean, if there's only one other thing, yes, that I could have done different. I did have my new blue hammer with me. I had it at 360. I don't know if it would have hooked. I'm gonna say that because my speed was at 1,000, and that's a super tall pin. That ball rolls good typically when there's a ton of volume. That one didn't even like think about it. So
I think that would have rolled way too early to be able to roll over. The blue would have. I don't know that would have flipped. You know what I mean? If you playing that far in.
What, the blue hammer?
Yeah.
No, I would have played left. I would have tried to play where
left.
That's where all the lefties played, except for me. And then there was another guy, Dennis Bissonette, also bowled next to me. He started off plus 30. I went to the low end. He stayed in the high end. I saw him the next game. He was minus 30. I was like, dude, you got to go like 15 right. He's like, you really think so? I'm like, we don't have ball reaction, and the lanes aren't going to break down. We don't have a look. You've got to find one. I said, you're close. I'm minus 9. At that point, I was minus like 110.
Yeah.
I was I'm in game 4. I need to shoot like 250 here to even have a whiff of thinking.
Right.
You know, like I didn't think I was out because I thought I could catch a big game, but it just didn't happen.
Right.
So he actually moved right, came over, gave me a high five, and said thank you because he shot 230 that game. But after that, he just didn't have a good look either. We were kind of, I don't want to say trapped, but it kind of felt as if it was a very hard pattern for us to get the ball to do the right thing on.
It's long patterns tend to be tough for lefties because you don't have that friction bounce to the left
or breakdown.
There's
no breakdown. I don't mind them being tight because I particularly like them tight with my ball roll the way I throw it. And like I said, ball reaction's not an issue. But if I had some lefty breakdown and we played more to the left and there was more lefties, there might have been a possibility, I could have played a little straighter. In this case, there wasn't as many lefties, and I just had to play the shot a little differently than I anticipated. So, but going into practice, there were no surprise. I just thought they were hooking a boatload in the middle, like a boatload.
Yeah.
So that was just that.
All right.
We'll see.
Well,
next one is in March at Binghamton.
That far away?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good time frame though.
Good time frame. Maybe
it's going to be bowl if I'm feeling good.
22nd, 23rd, I believe they said.
Are we able to go, or do we have something going on?
We have the trio tournament, possibly the Albany trios, but I can miss a week of that.
Yeah.
It's okay. And then the Masters will be the week after for the Albany Masters that we're going to be doing. We're hosting.
Oh, nice.
And then so we'll be able to kind of it'll be a good time for us. We just have to see. Tournament club will be ending around that time, so we got to see where we're gonna have the last.
Well, we currently have it on St. Patrick's Day, so we got to fix that up.
Yeah.
All right. So let us move on. Session last weekend.
Thank you. I do have a video of it. Me lofting the right gutter. You want it? You want it, Austin?
Yeah, send it over to Austin.
What do I send it to?
Austin's phone.
The phone will be fine.
Well, he can figure it out. He's the producer. All right. So before we move on to our topic of the night, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. And as always, you can contact us at downlanepod@gmail.com and check out our social pages like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Machine. No,
X. Sorry, I can't believe I forgot that. X. All right. And if you can't watch on Facebook or YouTube, you can always download and listen via your favorite podcast service.
Is it cold in here?
No, you're just, as I told my dad, you're imbalanced. he asked why you were bowling. He watched the vlog.
I did
and
see he asked why I was in a sweatshirt.
You were bowling in a hoodie. No, he didn't. But you're always like rolled up and whatever.
Yeah, I
so
always wear this.
all right, so let's get right into
I'm gonna
it.
bowl in
Here.
a winter hat tonight, actually, Bobby.
The title of the episode this week: Does the USBC even care? And of course,
Some words.
what am I even referring to? Which I'm sure most people even already know, is that the USBC decided that they are rating the averages the same between string pins that are certified. Let me make sure that is abundantly clear. String pins that are certified the same as free fall pins. So if you are bowling on certified string pins, you are sanctioned through the USBC, then your average will be acceptable in tournaments or leagues, etc., on free fall pins. Thoughts?
Makes sense.
Makes sense, Anthony says.
Yes.
Go on.
Well, first off, are there any rules in bowling that the USBC actually makes us follow? So
That's
instead
a
of
great question.
making this like you got to re-rate Jimmy because he's all right. There's no need for that. Well, what's 2 pins? At this point, there's no lane dressing requirements. Bow lights are optional at this point. There's really, bowling balls have a restriction, sort of, kind of. I don't know. At this point, I don't know. So, does it really matter? 2 pins? That's just, I'm just saying. Just saying.
I guess for me,
no weight holes allowed. Yeah, they enforce that. Have you seen the USBC discussion forum where people still don't have weight holes and say they're going to quit if they have to plug them? So no, they don't enforce that either. That is a crock of crap.
I think he's talking about nationals, but
nationals, sure.
Yeah. But so that's on the for those that are listening, that's Mark Taylor talking on the YouTubes or
that's
Facebooks.
Face.
So
it says face there.
For me, it isn't about the 2 pins or allowing a person from string pins over to free fall. It's more about even allowing it at all as a USBC sanctioned sport.
Yeah, but you didn't ask that question to me.
I said thoughts.
Yeah, thoughts.
Right.
So
I'm giving my opinion. All right, so settle down.
So you're gonna
sit back in your chair.
I have not moved. I have not moving.
So
moving.
My point is, why are we even? It shouldn't even be a discussion because bowling should be free fall pins. Period. Full stop, as the youngins say.
What the freak does that mean? Am I missing something? What the heck does full
I don't
stop?
even know what he meant.
You never heard full stop before?
No.
It's what the kids say these days.
Who, your kids? They're
No.
5. Making up words now?
But it just means end of story. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Period. So meaning it shouldn't even be a discussion. It should be done. It shouldn't be allowed. It should be over. And there should be no sanctioned tournaments on there. There should be no sanctioned leagues on string pins. In fact, even in the sanctioned string pin rules, they are allowing string trips or whatever you want to call it. However, if a pin falls via the string,
old people say full stop, Kyle. So they're allowing
settle down, Andrew.
They're allowing the strings to
trip the pins.
Yes.
And without resetting them. Not on Your Life says, so 6 months ago, the USBC's own research on strings yielded 7% fewer pocket strikes and as much as 10 pin drop in average requiring separate certification. Now those numbers aren't valid anymore, ? So that was before the certified string pins came out with the correct lengths of strings. So according to some people, and I don't think we've seen any real numbers from USBC.
What, on the string lengths and stuff?
With the correct string lengths.
Yeah, I saw, but I don't remember anymore.
The free fall versus certified string length is much closer. Almost However, they are allowing strings to trip pins, and if you have an off spot,
It
this
goes
is
back to
this
where it
is not as big of a deal, but
54 inches. There you
it
go.
still matters.
There's a maximum, I believe, too.
If you have an off spot, the pin gets put back on spot every time.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a messed up thing. I agree with you there. I can agree with you. And listen, I mean, I'm intrigued by it. I've seen some videos. I've seen some stuff going on, and I've taken into account the videos and how everybody says they're bad. I just don't think that the videos are what's that mean? Videos aren't they don't work. Like they're not legitimate because I don't know the string settings. These people keep putting up videos. I know Kyle's gonna bash me here, but if you're in a fun center and they're older, I mean, how do you know what the string length is? The string, it could be too big, too short. Like when you find unnatural pinfall, sure, but is it sanctioned? Like I watched Rash's thing and he's like, they don't belong in the sport. Fine, so be it. I think we've talked about. We'll get into a little bit more about my thought process on it, but for recreational centers and where you're not having giant tournaments that are withholding a ton of cash, I mean, what's the big deal? They're not enforcing any other rule in the USBC. So I don't understand why people think that the average change, what the big deal is. I mean, do you want the lanes easier? I mean, does that help? I mean, that's just, they can't be any easier than they are now. I don't know. It's just a thought.
Yeah, and then so like Mark Taylor made a good point, which we've talked about before, about how the pins rotate in the machines. You're not going to get the same pin every time. Not only that, but in order for a pin to hang on the string, you've got to take material out of the pin. And now you're hanging it on a string. No. You have to, when they manufacture the pins to put the,
they got to take some.
You have to take material out of the pin to put the knot in, or however they tie the string into the pin.
Did they have a how it's made on this yet?
I don't know. Haven't seen the video. But so that it's a different pin compared to free fall. So, and that's in the frequently asked questions sheet too. That it's there is a certification for how that's done, so that it's not drastically different.
Right.
So it is different, but not drastically different. So
sure, it's going to be different, absolutely.
But it should be the same sport, and it should be
still
free
is
fall.
The same sport.
Well, it's not.
No, it is,
because there shouldn't
ball still goes down the lane at 60 feet.
But there shouldn't be variables that change how the pins fall.
Okay.
That take the actual.
So then you don't like regular bowling then, because the lane changes, which changes the way the pins fall.
I'm saying there shouldn't be a string that knocks the pin down for you.
All right now, but you're saying there's a variable. The lanes are variable every night. So what's the difference? Kidding. Well, I'm just saying. Now you're talking about a variable.
But that's built in.
Okay. So are the strings.
Strings should not be built in.
Listen, I'm just saying. I'm not knocking it yet. I've seen a few, like you said, I've seen a few videos out there. I don't know how legitimate they are. Okay, I knew I stumbled through my words.
And Pizza Wings brings up a good point. It's
you're homeless?
Me, and I'm sitting next to a homeless man. What is the deal?
Thank you, Pizza Wings. If it wasn't for my wife, I would be homeless.
No, your mom would still take you in.
I don't know about that anymore. I might be at your house. But no, I've seen videos, and like I said, please show me the evidence that they are the actual sanctioned string machines themselves.
You're saying the videos that are against them, like Sean.
No, not against. That's fine.
Or any.
That's
video.
fine. I don't mind them being out there, but please, you asked the USBC to be transparent. Why don't they be transparent? Why don't they go get the facts right and actually present them to the people that are going to watch before they just make some random assumption? I'm just saying. He whined about the purple hammers. Now he's whined about string machines. Get over it, dude. All right? Freaking go present the information if you're so high and mighty. It is what it is, but show me the facts. All right? Show me the facts that purples are illegal, because there's too much contradicting information for you, Sean. and show me about those pins, those string machines. I want to know what they are. That's all. And I'm not really mad. I'm just saying, oh, they don't belong in the sport. Sure, buddy. You go be a mechanic. Oh, wait, you're not.
Tom Cruise over here. Show me the facts.
Well, it's just honest. It's honest. You know, it's just everybody wants to bash it. Absolutely. My brother Joe said it right. There are no mechanics anymore. You guys can whine and complain all about the pins didn't fall right. Really? I get complained about 10 pins now. So if a string takes it out, that's one less guy I got to listen to. So what the frig do I care?
Listen, these guys will still leave 10 pins all night long, whether there's a
will.
string that is attached to it or not. So they don't know about ball motion. That's why they're leaving 10 pins.
Sure.
It has nothing to do with
That's
free
fine.
fall pins.
That's fine. But let's get back on topic with the string pins.
Yeah.
All
Here's
the
the
videos,
deal.
all the social media stuff. Show me the facts before you say it doesn't have a place in
Facts
bowling.
are, and not on your life. I don't know this person's name. Says it perfectly. It is not the proper physics of free fall pins. You can visibly see them fall. They do not fall how free fall pins fall.
Absolutely. Why would they?
And that is not bowling.
Well, it's close enough.
Enough. It should be exact.
Well, how are you going to do that? I'm sure they'll get better over time.
You can't. And
I'm
you should
sure
not.
over time they'll get better.
If you have something attached to a pin, it cannot be the same as something not attached to a pin.
I don't know. That's
Unless
debatable.
it's not attached.
That's debatable.
I'm at a loss for words right now.
Well, if it's got, sure, it can have a string on it. If the pin hits it and there's no tension on it, then what's the difference?
Because it still has something attached. There's weight to it. There's gravity pulling it down. There's something attached to it.
I don't. Yeah,
I
sure.
think-
I get.
I
It's
think
not, how is it
what a
holding
lot
it
of-
down though? The tension. There's a tension knob on it too. The tension has to also be correct.
I think
Sorry, go ahead, Austin.
I think what a lot of people are worried about is
This is fun.
like to say, like, for example, I know no verification on whether it's a legal pin setter, or string pin setup. But if you watch some of the videos out there, the strings are taking out the 10 pin.
Right.
It's not the
Or
pin,
any pin for that
it's
matter.
the
But
string.
yes.
So when the 6 pin is going around the 10 pin, the string itself is actually what's knocking the 10 pin down, not the pin.
And the rules are clearly stating that is allowed.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
correct.
fine. Now, it doesn't seem like you have a problem with the falling pin. You have a problem with the tripped pin.
I have a problem with both.
With the string.
I have a problem with both.
Well, I mean,
I have a
That's my
problem
only
with- I have a
problem. My
problem with
only
all of it.
problem is the strings taking
It
pins
is what
out.
it
Like
is.
I watched one video with the 2A10 and
yeah, he made it.
0% should have made that
Yeah,
spare.
yeah.
And
But
the
like I
string
said,
came across and took the pin
Yeah.
out.
fine. So be it. That's fine. But is that machine legal?
We don't know.
We don't know.
So like I might hate string machines when they actually show me a legitimate video. Show me a legitimate video.
I mean,
I want to see it.
we could
Prove that it's a
potentially-
certified
Well,
machine.
we could potentially get verification of that. We just need to find out what bowling alleys is.
Okay, let's do it. The last event they had was not the same. They actually ran a PBA event on it. The scoring pace was in like 2 or 3 pins of what the free falls would be. And I don't know what the string length's on that, so that's not certified either. So I'm not giving that the okay. I'm just saying it is what it is. Yeah, no object is not on your life says no object in the world that's tethered to a cable is free to move. The end. It's not debatable. It's attached to something. Yeah, but if there's no tension on it, then if it's just hanging there, what's the big deal? I don't get it.
Well, you create tension once the pins hit.
There's that, and then
I guess I'm not smart enough.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to explain it to you. Like, if you had a rope attached to your waist,
Sure.
you ran,
Sure.
you would feel the rope pulling behind you,
I'd
like
probably trip over it
the
because I'm so fast.
or if you ran in a zigzag pattern, like a pin would be going through the pin deck out and hitting the wall and coming back or something like that, you would feel the tension of the air pulling and the force of the air molecules pushing against the rope.
This
hitting
seems
the
far-fetched.
microphone. It's not far-fetched. It's literally there's air molecules.
Dude, if I have a string
that
attached to
would
me, it's
cause
not going to bother
force.
me until it goes to the end.
You're not following what I'm saying. You're asking why it would matter. There was a string attached to the pin and how it would influence that pin. Well, when the pin is moving, there's a string attached to it, and when it moves, it's pulling that string with it, and it's going to cause force to pull that string tight, and then gravity and the molecules in the air. I'm no scientist here.
I don't exactly know how they work, but I'd assume there is never a end of the rope.
No, there is.
54. There is.
It's like the minimum is 54 inches. There is a maximum as well.
Yes, it can only go so far.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is it's not about the tension, like when it pulls tight. It is also about having weight on that rope. Just weight. The weight of the rope itself.
How is there weight on the rope?
The rope has its own weight. It is itself an object.
I think he's referring to after it's been hit.
Yes, like
while the pin is in motion,
yeah,
not while it's stationary.
And the rope, this cable, has weight. It's a thing.
Hey, easy pulling on them cables.
I know, it might unplug.
Now my question to you is
thanks, Andrew.
Now my question is to you.
Science guy.
Now all that
I just don't know how to explain it, but the rope has weight.
Mark will explain it for you because I know he's on this thing and he will probably he'll write something.
Somebody's got to explain it for me.
He will write it good. Now my question is to you, Kyle, is you had a problem with the pins being lighter because they needed to take weight out.
Or have a void in it too.
Now they need that weight from the string to make it legal. I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, now they need that extra weight in there to make it legal, and that weight on the string makes it legal.
I'm not even talking about the weight inside the pin. I'm saying
the physical weight of it. Me too.
Yeah, and hanging off of the top of the pin.
Yeah, me too.
You can see how it causes the pin to move differently while they fall. It is a completely different experience, and you can visually see it.
Now, Mark Taylor wrote in there, Jeff Riggs posted a video of tournament final on certified machines.
Mass. Thank you. That is the word I am looking for. It has mass. I don't know who you are, not on your life, but you and I
need to sit next. We need to sit next to each other so Kyle can talk to me with sentences. Because I'm a homeless man, and I don't know what sentences are.
And force. That's the other word I was looking for. Oh my God! I just need to go back to science and.
I already
in 10th grade.
The good thing is I've already established that I am not a smart person.
Watching, right? Because
I am not a smart person.
If we were left on our own, this would be freaking terrible.
I'm just saying, Kyle. I will not give it I will give it the benefit of the doubt until I start to actually see it. And Jeff has one posted. I don't know how to see it. I would like to see it.
Well, I read his article today that was recently. It was posted either today or the day before, and he actually took a couple of steps back and he said, well,
they're not as bad as they
they're not as bad as they were because
they're fixing them now.
Yeah, because the strings got shorter and like he was totally against them, and now he's coming around. And I'm like, I just, for me, the pins are attached to something, and that doesn't make it bowling. I'm sorry.
Now, for the people complaining about the USBC about this, listen, I'll throw a wrench in your monkey.
I know what that means.
Or whatever it is, a monkey wrench at you. Throw a wrench in things. Bolero's updates to their centers, from what I comprehend, when they update a center, for all you listeners, they're making all of them string machines. So you can argue with the USBC all you want. The USBC was strongholded into doing this with the new PBA league member, in my opinion, because they knew that the PBA is going to sanction them. So they wanted to keep members instead of lose members. So they made this decision before Bolero or whoever does it, I'm sure will do it at some point.
Oh, I totally get it.
So this was a move to be ahead of the curve.
My take on the whole thing is I couldn't care less that they want to try it out. All I want is the transparency. If they end up not being good for the sport, that the USBC owns up to it and takes them out.
Yeah, Joe. You tell him, Joe. You tell him, Joe. You tell him, Joe. Kyle's already got an electric car. He's buying one. Yeah. That's right.
Is driving an electric car
not driving because it's not gas?
It's not gas.
Things got to change, Kyle. They got to revolutionize.
No.
It's not driving? So are you one of those guys who's like, hey, automatic transmissions aren't driving? I need to be manual, guys.
No, I understand what he's saying,
I love it.
but
Let's go.
it is different. Like the pins are not falling how bowling pins should fall. I don't understand how that's not clear. Like I understand, like, okay, I sound like a traditionalist, and
You are.
admittedly, multiple times over, I am a traditionalist. I
Yes.
love things how they are.
Yeah.
But
That's why you still drive that GMC, baby.
yeah, buddy. But pins should fall on their own and not be influenced by strings.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, Kyle. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you anymore. I'm
They
kind
should
of
not be attached by
I mean,
strings.
I guess the only thing I could tell you to be common ground is everyone's going to be bowling on the same thing. So
Go back to
Think
Pin
of-
Boys.
Now, I actually saw Luke Rosendahl. He had an absolutely phenomenal post on the face-based machine, and he wrote, "Imagine bowling started with strings instead of free fall."
I get it.
And then they say, "Oh, we're gonna let free fall in now," and now all these guys got pins going everywhere, and they're like, "Well, our balls are stuck now. Hey, our machine broke down. Wait, we gotta wait for the mechanic to fix something? What is this messenger, this pin flying across the deck that I've never seen before in my life happen? How does that happen?" And then now you're just, he flipped it the other way.
Yeah.
And it's so true because my ball's stuck. There's a pin over here. I need this. Hey, off spot pin. Oh, I got to wait for the mechanic to fix it because it knocked it over. So, I mean, he put a really good post out there. It doesn't seem like he's indifferent for either. I'm indifferent right now because I want to see it. And like I said, social media people saying it should be out of major events. I do agree with that. Because
Then it shouldn't be allowed, period.
No, absolutely
What's the
should be
difference
allowed.
between major events and anything under it?
Like bowling for like real money. When you bowl league, it's completely different. This is a recreation, okay?
for tournament bowlers,
That's
yes.
the guys out there.
For tournament bowlers, yes.
It is
The
recreation.
recreational league is very different from a tournament.
Like I said, if it's a small tournament, a small center,
All right, we're gonna have to
Why
move
is it
on in
not
a
okay?
minute. But the problem I have with that is that if you turn this all into string pins, then you can't. And you say, well, tournaments are different than leagues. Well, you have leagues one day and tournaments the next. So
yeah, well, what I said is, I said in the text message earlier, was smaller events. So when you're running a national tour stop or something that is the Masters, those need to be free fall. And as you go into the
So-
small mom and pop or the smaller centers, it
Well,
should
so
be.
now-
It
bowling
could
is
be.
already
free.
divided by lane patterns, and
Now
you're
you're
going to
gonna-
divide it even more. It doesn't make any sense. It should just be bowling as it is.
So what happens if
So-
the center of one of the tour stops wants to switch to
Right.
string pins?
Okay,
They're gate kept into either being a
Be
PBA
a joke.
stop.
Might as
you're
well
no,
put-
you're no
might as well-
longer.
Might as well put the clowns out on the lanes, just like a circus, carnival time.
I mean, you make it sound so terrible.
I mean,
it's
this is
really not that
this.
bad.
I mean, but this is what always happens when new things are rolled out in any sport, in anything. There's always going to be the naysayers.
Yeah, stupid
There's always
football
gonna
helmets.
be- I mean, and
The game would be safer without football helmets.
It's true. Like a rugby.
and obviously, and then it's going to take a year or two to actually see the
Yeah,
effects.
listen,
I mean,
it is what it is.
fiscally for your proprietors,
Makes
amazing move.
If people want bowling to stay around in their area, and mechanics are far and few in between. Let's be completely honest here, Kyle. You also know that. So, as a decision financially, and to make it easier for yourself, if you have a small house and you don't have a lot of help, because help is also hard to find, these make it right now, from what we've seen and experienced or taught about.
That's what your salesperson has told you, right? Yes.
More people have told us about it. We have contacted centers
Mhm.
with string machines just to see if they're really telling us the truth. And guys said that they wish they did it years ago because it's so much easier. So it is what it is.
I like what Anita says. Let's end it on Anita's comment. Forget string setters versus free fall. He just wants something that makes the gray boards hub.
I think they call those bumpers.
Bumpers, yeah.
All right. We got to get to Andrew's question.
That was pretty good, Kyle.
Yeah, sure.
I thought you guys were going to box for a second.
Nah.
All right. So one
He
of
was
our,
getting it up.
one of our viewers, Andrew, sent us an email And it's going to be his birthday coming up here.
Happy early birthday.
He is going to be 28 years old very shortly.
Happy mother effing birthday, guy.
So he is going
Old enough to drink.
he's going to be he's looking for a 28 mil pattern for his 28th birthday if we can find it, because his bowling center nearby is going to let him put a pattern out. So he wanted us to give him some thoughts on that. He's a speed dominant low ref player, at least he thinks, and his speed is somewhere between 18 and 20. He's been bowling seriously for about 2 years. Been dealing with bowler's elbow for the last 2 months, which I assume just means some pain in his elbow.
It's basically like a tennis elbow,
Yeah.
I would assume. Yeah.
He plays more down and in as opposed to hooking the lane. Doesn't really open his angles too much. Let's see here. He wants to challenge himself and try out the challenge and sports shots for a while now.
He just wants us to pick up the
hittable.
pattern.
Yeah.
He wants something
That he has a
that
chance.
gives him a
But,
challenge,
hang
but is
on.
hittable.
He wants to try something fun, but doesn't want to throw a ball through the scoring monitors. So,
And they're done that.
yeah. The only issue that I found with something that's going to be 28 mils is that they all seem to be low ratio patterns.
The hard ones.
Yes. So if the higher volume patterns tend to be the lower ratio patterns, which is the harder ones. So if you want something that's a little more middle of the road, we're probably going to have to find a
Good old challenge shot,
Yeah, challenge like 4-1 to 6-1.
which I did look.
Yeah, me too. Which, by the way, last week we talked about 10-pin toolkit. So if you go to 10pintoolkit.com/downlane, you can actually download the app and go to the pattern library. The 128 mil pattern that I found on there, because do they have the Kegel patterns on there, or they do have them on there? Yes. Anyway, the one that I found on there was the PWBA Twin Cities Open PTQ, but that's 2.6-1, so that's really hard, and it's 47 feet, so that would be really fun for you. Really hard, meaning. But anyway, did you find a challenge shot for him?
I did find a challenge shot. I tried my best to get your numbers in there. I actually chose 2 Kegel ones. You're a little more down and in, so I figured maybe move you to a little closer to the gutter, make it a little bit more, to the right instead of the down and in second arrow. Make it a little more comfortable. Misses left hooks a little too much. Then gets him close to the gutter, which is a little harder for guys who are down and in. I did choose Broadway V2. It's 37 feet, 26.5 mils.
So
I got
close.
you really close. But I got your drop rush at 36, and it's 4.5-1. That is definitely hard enough. I also found another one that you might like, Mercury, 40 feet, 25.5 mils. But I got the 8 in there on the drop rush. It is 38. So I did look at some stuff here. That is Mercury, and that is a 5-1. So if you want to move closer to the gutter, use Broadway V2. Want to play closer to that gutter and really get yourself outside of your zone, which I'm assuming if you're down in, you're looking at the second arrow. Broadway V2 is pretty good. And if you want something that's kind of, you can play close to the second arrow, but just give yourself less miss room than the house shot, then go with Mercury.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, those two are pretty good. And we've used them on plenty of events before here, and they seem to play fair.
They're pretty fair scoring.
They're fair scoring. They're fair shots. You got to throw a good one. So
yeah, and your proprietor down there won't be, or wherever you are, won't be too pissed off probably about the amount of oil or disrupting the house shot too much if he's a guy that pays attention.
Well, it would be depending on the oil they use as well, because usually when I put the sport patterns out, when we practice on Friday, I actually use fire. We're using curve for the league players. We use fire for the sport conditions because it's an easier clean than the curve, and it skids a little bit more too. So believe it or not, typically after we get done using fire, scores tend to go up on those pairs for whatever reason. So it does clean a little easier. So it depends on what your center uses, but I'm sure they have a system that they'll get you going with.
So yeah, go to the if you go to the Kegel Pattern Library, which I'm sure your proprietor is familiar with, you can check those out, and then he can download them and upload them into the plane machine, or enter it by hand, or he'll have to spray it, hand spray it.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a fun one too. You ever want something challenging?
That was a blast. That was a good time. 50 mils.
28 mils, 28 feet.
And the ball went 60 feet for me.
Also, Mark's got one in there. It's a youth open pattern. Mark's pretty good at doing all that
Of
stuff.
course, he's got a 28 mil pattern. Why wouldn't he?
No, he's got one that's from the USBC pattern bank.
Oh, okay. It's
He
got.
found
It's not
one.
a hard one though.
Usually
Sure,
they're pretty
it's gotta
fair.
be
He's
pretty
usually very good at finding patterns.
So,
People look at
Andrew, if you go on to our Facebook page under this video and look towards the end of the video, his comment will be there.
and he's even got the whole
He
link
put the
for
whole
you.
link in there and everything.
All right, guys. Well, it is time for us to go bowling. So don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. Thanks so much for hanging out with us and chatting with us as always.
Make sure to support your proprietors when they go to strings.
Or leave them entirely. I don't even know where I left off. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. I think I said that already. You can check out our Etsy shop. And if you can't watch on YouTube or Facebook, you can always download and listen via your favorite podcast service. Thank you for untying my shoe, Anthony.
That's what he did down there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see here. Where was I? I don't even know anymore. Nice job. Good show. Don't forget, Austin will be dropping the next episode 2 of Tonight We Bowl, which will be tonight's league.
Tonight we bowl.
Gonna try to get it out on Monday mornings.
All right,
That's gonna be the
Monday
plan.
mornings is the plan for Austin. So we will be, I don't even know who we're bowling or where we're bowling tonight. Well,
I'm
we're
bowling
Town
on
and
17,
Country,
18 with the new furniture, baby. I'll be taking a nap while I bowl. Let's go.
So yeah, so we'll be bowling tonight, and hopefully we bowl good and win, so that
Let's win,
Anthony
guys.
will be in a good mood this week to get some good commentary. Because last episode,
My team lost.
nothing.
I don't think all we got was his shots. He didn't
That's
say
it.
a word.
Not
I
a
was
chirp.
also
Not a chirp.
tired that night.
He
Yeah.
was very tired. I think
Tired
I
and
was here
cranky.
till 2 a.m. that night doing ball work. So,
Frank Hippopotamus.
well, I'm old now, you know. Get off my lawn, kids.
He's got a pig now. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you to Jack Scaccia, for proprietor of Town and Country Lanes. Did I say good shows tonight, Austin?
Yeah,
Good
you
shows
did.
tonight. All right. Thank you, Anthony, for another great show. Thank you to my family, Stephanie, Zach, and Ethan.
Thanks, Jam Bread.
We will see you guys next week. This is Downlane Podcast.